Hello and welcome to Amaro's Intuitive Studio on YouTube. This is your weekly Taroscope for the week of March 7th to March 13th, 2021. March 13th is a new moon, so make sure you subscribe so you can be notified of the brand new moon moonlit video that comes out this week. All right, let's get your astro dice ready. If you have not seen them yet, be sure to check out the Pisces season videos, including the special birthday Taroscope for 2021, as well as the full moon in Virgo video and meditation if you missed those. The meditation is a lot about dissolving overthinking anxiety and finding those feelings in the body. So you'll really enjoy that. And then the new moon video that's coming up kind of plays on that energy. If you're here joining us for this video, it's because you want to ride the wave of energy into this week rather than reacting to it along with everybody else in the crowd. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have been following along with the Taroscope every week, please comment below and let me know how your life has been shifting. Okay, so I'm going to explain these now. We're going to start with Jupiter, Pisces, and then the 10th house, and then these bring us messages. A little bit more I want to explain is about these planets. So we're just kind of adding a little bit. We already have Pisces out here, if you'll notice. So we're really leaning into the Pisces energy of this season. Like, it is on, okay? So when we're talking about Jupiter, we're talking about your self-confidence, courage, self-belief, and luck. Okay, that's a little bit more about what Jupiter represents. The sign of Pisces, which is the season that we're in, and the new moon coming up as well. This energy is wistful, endlessly loving, compassionate, and forgiving. It confuses and softens resolve. So if you're not used to deep emotional psychic connection, it can be very confusing in the world when there are different values that are often emphasized. And then the 10th house, where your achievements and status in the outside world. So that is why it can be confusing. Okay, the outside world doesn't tend to embrace that emotional connection. It is really coming around full circle, this new understanding of mental and emotional health, the inner child and healing that, how emotional abuse affects us ultimately. So it really is coming around. So lean into this energy, because again, this has to do with your own self-belief, softening that maybe perspective of yourself in your mind. It might be like a little bit stuck in your mind. That's exactly what the Virgo full moon meditation was about taking the energy out of the overthinking mind, finding it where it is in the body, and softening it. And so last week, we actually had a really interesting message that was the opposite of this. It was kind of like a block. And there was a block that was not granting our ability to have an insight into our destiny. And look at how this shifts when we lean in and actually willingly engage that energy. We say, I want this to change. I want this mindset about myself to shift. How do I do that? And your willingness to join in on this is going to be the biggest part of your actual healing process, is that you're willing to be a part of this. Okay, so the granting of spirituality to ultimately experience your destiny. Blessings from trusting your psychic knowledge of where you're going. Good fortune resulting from the indecision of or about your career. So maybe there's something that did not work out before that you weren't sure about. The timing is important. You weren't ready maybe at that point. You may be ready now. So don't discount yourself just because something didn't come to fruition before. Allow yourself, soften yourself, your resolve, where you're like, I'm never doing that again. You need to choose a different way, okay, to believe in yourself. Your intentions here are the most important thing. Why do you want to bring that into the world? That's what's going to bring your gifts, okay? Why do you want to bring that into the world? Why is it important? What is it going to bring? Honestly, like what do you think that serves? You can't just bring your ego into the world and expect people to respond the way that you would like. Okay, I got 2 cards that came from the Flower of Life. We use this every single week so far. And the 2 cards are soulmates and not what you expect. A lover comes into your life to reflect your love, your higher self. The higher purpose of relationships is to mirror the love that you are and melt away any walls or resistance to love. Love is a state of being, of balance. It reminds you of your completeness, the wonderment of a whole you. Breathe love in and breathe love out. Make a conscious effort to be a lover of life, and you will feel you are making love in every moment of your life. Being in love is your natural state of being, and in this space, you will meet the souls of others who have awakened their heart centers. So a lover, think a lover of life, okay? A lover. It doesn't have to be romantic. If you are a lover of life, other lovers of life will join you on your path. Not what you expect. So remember, that's like I said, it doesn't have to be romantic. It may be something different. It is an integration of relationship that honors and values both parties, that is reciprocal, and where both people experience that. Today, you may not be able to see or feel the wonderment of you. A limited belief or pattern you hold within you is covering up the truth of you. Someone or something will enter your life, okay, and reflect back to you the wonderment and truth of you. It may be disguised as something you don't like, for we are all well trained in noticing what irks us. But know that at the heart of the experience is love, because you are a lover of life. Remember that. At the heart of this experience, you are a lover of life. So you're going to change your perspective a little bit about things that bother you, the things that poke and trigger you. Your experience of those is going to start to change, because you're going to notice them and you're going to pay attention and listen to what they're actually trying to tell you. Let it all come to you. You are safe. Don't resist anything, and use your free choice and will to focus on what makes you feel good. You are on your way to feeling the marvelous wonderment of love. All right, so let's see what else. What else is for us this week? So what else is going on? We have this. Granting of fortune. Granting of good fortune. Oh my goodness. Okay. You know what's really funny here? These 2 exact cards came out last week. These 2 exact cards came out last week. So I find that really fun and interesting. I think, though, the shift this week is you're learning to master, okay? You may have been like running away, running towards something reactionary. It confused you, okay? Like I said, you last week we talked a little bit about leaving things behind, making space for new things, and how that would allow you to lift, lift your head up. I honestly think it's like maybe not entirely clear what those connections are or how to deal with them, how to set boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of feels weird when, okay, these 2 here, it kind of feels weird when you're reacting, okay? It could be to the right stimuli. Oops, I'm way off. If you're reacting, it could be to the right stimuli, but not you're not quite sure what to do with it, what kind of boundaries to make, how much space you should allow that in your life. It might be with the type of people that are family or really close to you that you're just starting to now see that there are certain little things that irk you about the relationship that you're gonna have to address. And that's not always the most fun thing to do, okay? But you have to like stand up for who you are. It doesn't have to be harsh though. Remember, it can be soft. It can be this deep knowing of yourself. And when you start to approach the world from a deep knowing of yourself, you start to trust. You start to trust that every time, like, this is the mastery. This is the king of wands, king of inspiration. You start to trust that you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. You don't have to be harsh. It can be quick, okay? But it's like almost like mastering this confusion. At first, when you start to tap into your feelings and you're making boundaries and you're reacting to people and situations, they start to feel different, and it is confusing. But you're going to learn how to balance this and trust yourself in your own reactions and even emotions as much, but you relate your emotions to the thought to the emotion, and you're able to clarify almost what is real and the fire. Like, see how she's kind of she's almost like, to me it looks, okay, like she's almost like brushing her shoulder off. Like she's letting go what is not. She's looking where she needs to look, okay, at her focal point. She's not looking at the things that don't necessarily concern her. You may have opinions, right? People may have opinions about you and your choices, but as long as you're holding your head high, that's all that matters. And you have to learn to like trust that. It's okay if you may have reacted or said things that didn't quite match the way that you felt in the situation. That's okay. That's like perfectly, I'm sorry, I'm like shaking that around. Now, I want to bring another message forth, just like last week. And this is like your... Oh, look at that. Interesting. That doesn't belong there, so I'm just going to like receive that for us. Oh, look at this. I'm fairly certain this is the card that came out last week as well. I'm gonna have to check back, but see from a higher perspective, okay? Sometimes sacrifice is painful. God's cutting away all that needs to go. Illusions, obsessions, addictions. It is a sacrifice to love. Remember we were talking about love, these soulmates, and not what you expect, okay? That it says it may be disguised as something you don't like. This may be letting go of some of your illusions, obsessions, and addictions, sacrificing those to love, to your heart space. You know you can trust yourself, okay? Maybe up to this point you have not. There was an indecision, illusion, obsession, addiction. Think of that, okay? The time now is different. The time now has shifted. You believe in yourself. You see yourself different now. Okay? You are starting to see yourself from a higher perspective. You are starting to see yourself from a higher perspective, and that is why you're going to be able to let go of these things. This confusion is not going to exist the same way. Okay? It's just going to shift for you. Do you see, this is not at all random, that these mirror from week to week, the energy literally softly, the wave of energy softly shifts, okay? It softly shifts, and it's not random. This is, if you choose to believe that the energy is there and it is mirroring and that you can harness it, I mean, that's why you're here. Because you believe that you have that capability, or that at least that capability exists. Solar plexus chakra. radiant illumination. So that's a message that goes along with this. Okay? Radiant illumination, and I'm going to share a little bit more about that in a moment. But you're seeing something different. You're seeing how there is something that is not for your highest good or the highest good of those you love the most in this world, those you're trying to serve. There was something that maybe you did. It might be the same thing, okay? It might be the same path, but you did it from a place of illusion. You were not true to yourself when you started this. It is time to sacrifice the illusion and addiction. Maybe it could be to attention or something like that, to love. It could be to measuring or holding yourself to someone else's standard. This is a surrender. But you're a willing participant. This is nothing to be afraid of. The solar plexus chakra is the radiant center of our being. It holds the vibrant spark that brings our passions to life. Enter this space to step away from playing small, from unworthiness, and the idea that you are taking up space, and insecurity-based competitiveness. Allow yourself to be attuned to the abundant life force that resides within this center and be energized, motivated, and fueled with inspiration. Enthused and clear-minded so that you can bring forth more of yourself and what you wish to birth into the world. As you discover a deep and real sense of empowerment, you can more confidently lift others in celebration, harmonizing differences and shifting hierarchical paradigms into collective co-creation. Remember that you are a powerful being who can connect with potent life force energy as and when you need it. Be aware of what fuels your fire and consider circumstances where you had your power taken away. Imagine all the fragments of your energy that you have given away at some point and bring them back to the center of your being. And that's exactly where your confidence comes from. The center of your being, the solar plexus chakra, choosing to lean into that and believe. Okay, last deck. Mindful messages. Mindful messages. The advice that it brings for the week. Conscious focus. What I focus on, I will attract more of. Starting with today, I will be more conscious of what I choose to spend time speaking or thinking of. I will do more of the things that bring me joy and see as more of the things begin to effortlessly flow into my life. Water my dreams. Perfect for Pisces, hey? The fish. All I desire is on its way to me, but like a seed, and that is, this is March, solstice month. Remember that, okay? This is the time of awakening, spring awakening, emerging. Like a seed, my dreams too must be watered. My belief and determination is what makes them grow. I will be as patient throughout this journey as it will be unfolding at the perfect time. Didn't we just say that from here? It will be unfolding in the perfect time. Do not get caught up on something that did not pan out before because the timing was not right for it. There is no measuring against one another. We are all developing in our own time. So our final message for today, for this week, March 7th through March 13th, 2021. Make sure again that you subscribe to be notified every week of this. Also, the new moon video coming out for the new moon on March 13th. Learn or teach your dreams responsibly. Be positive about your idealization of success. Grow and expand. Be part of something overwhelming and become a person of power. and status. If you have been following along with the Tarotscope every week, let me know if you've been riding this wave of energy along with me and what you believe and feel about this message and how this is emerging in your life right now. Please share this with your friends so they can also begin to ride the wave of energy rather than reacting to it with everybody else. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so I know to keep making these for you every week, that you're enjoying them and that they're making a difference in your life. Thank you so much for being here.